What's up, YouTube? I'm back again, and I'm here to do a video on how did I deal with the abuse, the narcissism, the gaslighting, being the black sheep of the family, and all that crazy stuff. It wasn't easy. I did things most people did. I didn't do everything, but I've done quite a few things. And one of the things that I went through was I was extremely depressed. And I just always wondered, why did I have to go through the abuse and the things and the neglect and the abandonment that I went through. And my aunt got tired of me talking about it. She was like, why don't you just call your mom and ask? I called her and I asked, and she was like, not wanting to hear it. She was like, who the fuck told you to ask me this shit? Like I was stupid, like I didn't have a mind of my own. And I was like, nobody, because I want to know this shit happened. So it was almost like she was detaching herself from the situation, avoiding the answer the questions by asking me questions, which pissed me off. And at that time, I was 15 of age. Okay, I was 15. No, I wasn't. I think I was 14. Yeah, I was 14 because I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know. And I think I asked her again when I was 15. But anyway, she didn't want to hear that shit. She was pissed off. She thinking somebody putting a hole in my head, trying to talk me against her and stuff. I'm like, nobody's against your black ass. It's just, I want to know why the fuck did you do the shit that you did? Like, what the fuck did I do that was bad? Because I want to apologize. I want to apologize, and I just want to figure out where did I go wrong at? Because I'm not understanding this shit.
I was just a child.
So we got off the phone and stuff. And I was extremely depressed about it because I didn't get any closure. But you know what? That depression turned into anger. So I internalized so much shit because there was so much shit that I didn't talk about. I didn't talk about the abuse that I went through with my family members because I didn't trust their ass. Shit, I was in the fucking South. Motherfuckers running their mouth too goddamn much. Like, damn, when I tell you something, cover this, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Don't be telling everybody. Then motherfuckers coming back to me. I heard. Fuck that. But anyway, I internalized a lot of shit, and I was drinking. At the age of 13, I started drinking. And I was
What
drinking
the
beer and shit.
hell?
And I should have been in my room studying for, a test or doing homework and stuff and, getting shit together. Shit, I'm in the living room with the grown ups drinking. What kind of example is that? So that's already set me up for failure. So yeah, I was drinking every night. No doubt. I was drinking every night. It is what it is. Because for one, I did not want to live with my auntie. I'd rather be with my great grandmother because it was much peaceful there. It's too chaotic at my aunt's house. She, had different people over, her boyfriend, have company, these crazy ass motherfucking people and shit. It's just, I didn't care for all that. But anyway, I was being a product of my environment at the time. And so, me drinking, I started eating a lot, man. And I was addicted to food. I was up in that refrigerator 24/7, just eating up shit. I'm like, God damn it. I was saying to myself, damn, I don't even have no self-control. I did not have no self-control. I just wanted to eat all the fucking time. Whenever I was sad or depressed or whatever, my motherfucking ass went to the refrigerator. That's where I went to. I never did smoke weed because that shit stink. I
Thank
mean,
God.
come on, that shit stink. Um, I didn't like have sex. I wasn't promiscuous or anything like that. So I wasn't really just having sex like that. I've had sex, but I wasn't having sex by giving it up to the community. So this wasn't no community puss here. No, not at all.
Hell
I'm not down for
no.
that. So dealing with those things, and as the years go by, I was beginning to notice that my auntie was like using me to babysit her kids. I was being used and manipulated so they could get what the fuck they want. So every time something happens, she always get the Bible and quote a scripture. And it made me feel really bad. So I felt even worse. I'll be like, I'd rather for you to whip my ass with extension cord. Don't be manipulating me, man, because that made me feel worse. So I'm like, the whole fucking day, I'm in the fucking dumps. On top of already feeling bad about shit happening. Then, oh yeah, on top of that, my daddy died when I was 12. All that shit mixed in one. Just it was just fucking crazy. Because I wanted to live with my daddy. So as I'm getting older and I'm looking at things, I'm the type that I like to do things and whatever come to my mind, I do it. And I've noticed how they change. Like they didn't like what I was doing. And then they'll bring up something that I did in the past that
God
wasn't
damn.
relevant. And I'm like, what the fuck that got to do with what I'm doing? I'm trying to do something positive. You bringing up something that I did back in the day that's over with to make me feel bad and stop. It works. It fucking works. So I ended up getting a keyboard. Well, before I got the keyboard, I always wrote. I was writing since I was 13. I always wrote rhymes, little short stories, raps and stuff. But I didn't have nothing to record it on. So back in, what was that, 95? I graduated high school in 1995. 96, I ended up getting a keyboard. And my mom had a book at the time. It was Musician's Friend. She was telling me about some stuff I could order out of there. Um, so I was receiving the catalog and stuff, and I ordered a thing to record my music on. So I would make up my beat on my keyboard. I would record that. I would record the music samples, sounds and stuff. A lot of time I would mimic, music that I like. And I had a microphone and I would rap and I would talk about whatever the fuck that was going on with me. I started noticing when I felt bad about something or somebody pissed me the fuck off, I would write the rap. Half the time I already knew what beat I was gonna use, I already knew what instrument I was gonna use, and I put that shit together. And as soon as I get done rapping it, I felt better. Didn't know that that was my therapy. That was my motherfucking therapy. And I was like, shit, this is dope. I started noticing that shit in I think 97, 98. And I was like, man, I feel good after this because I released it. So I started talking about shit back in my younger years, just releasing that shit, releasing that shit. I felt better about myself. I felt good. I felt good at that point. But this is the problem. My auntie that I was living with, she has a problem with people wanting to better themselves. She has a problem with a person who wants a brand new car or wants to live a better life. I know she was brought up in the Jim Crow era and they lived in a plantation house, but that ain't it for me. So it was like I had to stop being who I want to be just to please her so she won't get angry. I remember one time I bought a DVD player, back in 2000 and what, 2000? Yeah, 2000, 2001. When the DVD players was hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, hey, the DVD players was hot. So I got mine, had it in my room and everything. They was pissed off. I'm like, this is just a fucking DVD player. They got pissed off for that. They got pissed off because I was changing the way I was thinking. And they do that same strategy again. Pull out the Bible, talk about bullshit that I did a long time ago, brought me right back down to the dumps.
God damn,
Right back
man.
down in the dumps. So I was like, golly, I felt bad too, man. I ain't gonna lie, I felt real bad. So yeah, when I was trying to raise my vibration up, not knowing that's what I was doing, they brought it right back down. They didn't want to see that. They did not want to see that at all. And I was like, man, this shit is crazy. So yeah, I was being used. I was like the babysitter. Um, at the time, my auntie would be drunk when we got out of school, and I was in junior high. And I had to come home and cook. Shit, most time I was hungry as fuck. Wasn't trying to be coming home to cook. I wanted to come home to food already ready. So it was something that happened. I can't remember. I don't know if I was at high school or not. And I said something, and I said, "You didn't cook," you know, to some extent because I was hungry as fuck. Yeah, I was in high school because at that time I had to pay for my lunch, and I was hungry as fuck, man. I was hungry, and I come home, she didn't even cook. I was mad as fuck, man. I'm like, God damn, nigga, I'm hungry. So anyway, she started doing better. She started cooking and stuff like that, and she had got a job because she was sitting at home for years, just getting that government assistance. Um, at the time, I always wanted a job, but I don't know. It was so much fear that was embedded in me that I would think of scenarios that I might get fired, and not thinking that they're going to train me to do the
Self-sabotage
job,
was
so I don't have to
real.
worry about getting fired. But it was just I was so negative. I overthink shit, and I was just so negative that I kept myself down. So anyway, I'm getting older and stuff. I'm out of school. I get a job. I buy a car, whatever, fix it up. I don't know if they said anything crazy about it or anything like that, but I noticed that I was buying a lot of cars. It wasn't like we had a yard full of cars, but it was just when I got tired of this car and I was having problems with it, I got rid of it, bought another one. Sometimes I was trying to have two cars, and the day that I bring the new car home, somebody wanted to buy the old car right off the bat, so I end up selling it. And I've noticed that they had a problem with that. So as I'm trying to do better for myself, I'm trying to get out of the funk. It was like they find ways to try to pull me back down. They was like energy vampires, talking shit, this and that. And I was after we had moved. She moved. We left her boyfriend's house. We moved this, back in the projects. Um, it was me and my other cousin. I'm oldest, but my other cousin, he's the oldest of his siblings. We was helping her pay bills, and the other girls was just running around the streets doing shit.
Him.
And I'm
Him.
looking like, what the fuck going on here? I didn't like that shit. They were disrespectful because I at that time I was working nights. And I'm like, hey, can y'all please be quiet so I can, you know, rest? No, they got company over, babies crying and shit. And I'm like, oh my God, you got to be fucking kidding me, bro. No respect. So I end up getting my own apartment. My auntie was pissed off about it because I'm not helping her pay the bills. No, get off your motherfucking ass, get a real job, and quit depending on me and your oldest son to help pay bills for you. So I didn't care. So at that time, I end up, I was doing really well.
Good for
I was doing
you.
really well. I was able to save money. I was able to do things. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. It was crazy how I got away from that environment and I started doing better. And it was still stuff going on. It was just periodically we'll get along, and then all of a sudden we don't get along, especially when it comes to her daughters. Um, she thinks that I'm supposed to just jump off my ass and just uh, take them to the store and this and that whenever they ask. No, I work at night. I'm tired. So no, I'm not going to do that. And she had a problem with that. And I was like, you know what, this right here is everything is pissing me off because now I'm really beginning to see that I'm being used here. You act like I owe you something because you adopted me from my mom, you
Don't
know.
owe
And
you
I'm like,
shit.
no, I don't owe you shit. So I'm getting to the point where, I don't owe y'all motherfuckers shit. Then I started thinking, like, if I died today, what the fuck are these motherfuckers gonna be doing? They gonna figure this shit out. So I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. Anyway, um, when I changed jobs because I was driving semis, then I went to drive a school bus. I changed jobs, so I went to work for the city bus. My auntie got mad, and she thought that I did that so I wouldn't take her to work. I'm like, I don't have an issue taking you to work. I had issues at the job, and it was time for me to go. It was time to go. Spirit would let you know when it's time to go. Yes, it would let you know. All right, so let me step back. So I was at home watching Joel Osteen. At that time, I was religious. I didn't have no fucking choice, okay? And he was talking about affirmations.
What?
And I was like, let me try these affirmations out. It was cool. So I had an index card. I wrote out some affirmations. I went to the bathroom mirror and I looked at myself and I said those affirmations. Let me tell you, I almost quit. It was a 21-day challenge. It was a 21-day challenge. And I was like, this is a hard ass fucking challenge because after day two, I was wanting to quit, man. It was a lot of resistance. And I'm like, damn, I'm really a negative motherfucking person because I was wanting to quit after the second day because it was a lot of, no, you ain't this, no, you ain't that. And I did it. I persisted. I damn near cried. I'm looking at myself in the mirror crying because I was like, I wanted to give up, but I'm like, I just can't. Best thing I could have ever done in my motherfucking life is start saying affirmations. Because I didn't even know what the fuck that meant. I never heard of the word. I never heard of the word affirmation. So I started doing that and I started noticing changes. I started noticing me changing. I was like, damn, I'm changing around here. And I started seeing that these affirmations work. But just got to remember, being religious, all that programming, all that programming and that fear-based shit, I had to get that out of my system. So April 4th, 2010, it was on Easter. I went over to the house. She was angry about something. Because let me go back. When I got the job for the city, she was upset about it. And I got that in December and I didn't start until January. I didn't mention that I almost died from amoxicillin because I was allergic to it. I had every adverse reaction except death. But anyway, she was upset because I switched jobs. At that time, turned everybody against me, but I was sick at the time. My mama was mad at me. My cousins was mad at me. Didn't nobody want to have shit to do with me. Let me tell you something. If she came at me talking that bullshit, she was mad at me because I switched jobs. But she's talking about, oh, you don't let my daughters borrow your vehicle. I said because they're going to get drugs, and if they get busted, who's getting the vehicle out of pawn? out of impound. She couldn't answer that question. Then she said some other shit, and I was livid. You hear me?
Fuck
I was livid.
all this shit.
So I went to my apartment and I cried. I said, this shit is not right. Something is wrong with this motherfucking family. All these motherfuckers are religious. My aunt, my two aunts, and my mom, and they can't get along. I said, this religious shit is dividing people, and I don't want to have nothing else to do with religion. I said, fuck you, God. I was done. I was done. I said, this shit here is not worth it. I'm trying my best to be a great Christian and do right and do what's up. And it still wasn't enough. I was done. I was done. It's over with. I'm done. So I stopped coming around. I stopped going over there drinking coffee. I think I would go on a Sunday and wash clothes because I pretty much bought that washing machine where we put money in, but I put money in that machine. Wash my clothes, go to the dryer, dry my clothes, and go back home. I wouldn't eat over there. Cousin of mine came right on time. Hey, she sold me some food stamps. Went bought me some food. I started cooking at home. Fuck y'all. And I'm over here, could have died from amoxicillin poisoning, and you acted like that. I was done. So that was another thing. I left religion alone. It was so much I had to learn and relearn. I mean, I had to get all that religious dogma out of my system because, I mean, religion would have you fucked up. No disrespect to the ones who religious. I love y'all. I would not dog you out or talk trash about you or nothing like that. It has nothing to do with people who out there who are religious. I just want to let you know that it was just them. I'm talking about my people, and I had to let that shit go. I'm still saying my affirmations. I've let religion go, and I'm doing a lot of research on things. And I'm end up learning what narcissists mean, black sheep of the family mean, gaslighting. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been going through all this shit and didn't even know. And then I'm wondering why people acting funny with me because they're talking about me behind my back and all that stuff. So I started leaving them alone. They start feeling some type of way. Hey, you coming over today? You coming over to eat? No, I'm good. I get off work, go straight to my apartment, unlock the door, get in, close it, and that's it. I was through. I was through. So my cousin, he had moved to North Carolina. He came down in golly, what was that, February, March, and they was all in his face. Ah, yeah, come over, dog, da 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 da. And I was saying to myself, they gonna get your ass. Watch. Shit, hey, shit on Dookie stank. That
They
December, he
got
came for
his
Christmas.
ass.
They turned on his ass. And I wasn't even there. They turned on his ass so bad that he was crying the next day all day. And I'm like, why is this fucking gun sitting out here like this? What the hell happened? Everybody quiet and stuff. They mad because they want this boy to tell them his sexuality. That's nobody's business, baby. Don't need to know what he's doing. He's in another state doing what he do. I don't care about that. You shouldn't either. So I was like, I was glad I was out of that shit. Ooh. But nah, man, it was like I got to the point to where it was time for me to leave and go to another state. So I met a friend who was hitting it off real good. And it was like 6 months into the, friendship relationship. I decided to move. Best thing I could have ever done. I moved and I got away from that. And I kept going with my affirmations. I stayed on YouTube listening to my affirmations and saying them every day, reciting them every day, and things that I prefer to manifest. And I'm pretty good at manifesting. So that's what I've been doing. And when I moved to Nashville, I could have got the job I had now then, but I was nervous. I
Shit.
didn't do it. So I ended up getting it 2 years later. Been driving. I was driving buses, and I ended up being a mentor. So new people come in, I train them on my route, and then they go to the next person, whatever. And after that, they on their own. And then um, I end up becoming a trainer or facilitator, whatever you want to call it. And I'm still a facilitator. But 2 years in my job, I end up getting a house.
Good for
That's cool.
you.
That is real, real cool. And yeah, so things started working well with me. But at the same time, I still was dealing with my family which I should have just left completely alone. I should have left alone. So I'm not, worried about them anymore. I've dealt with a lot of stuff, and when they come at me with shit, it's like, no, I'm serious. I'm like, I don't run to the refrigerator. I don't drink or anything. I don't, smoke dope or anything. I'm cool. It is what it is. I don't even care. I don't even care no more. Because I've been through so much with these people that it just doesn't bother me anymore. It does not bother me anymore. And I'm just up over it. Like, I am totally over it. Like, I'd rather find a group of people on the streets and say, you my mama, you my daddy, you my auntie, you my uncle, you my sister, you my brother, you my cousins, and do it like that, because man, they gonna treat me different. So those were the things that I did to cope. One thing I should have done was got some therapy. I tried to do that, but somehow the company changed the what they call it. They changed they changed what is it? I was with this company, and then something happened where the contract was up. They didn't deal with them anymore, and I had to go somewhere else. And I was like, man, I done already started my therapy, and I got to do it all over again. I was like, ah. But anyway, go to therapy if you have to. Most of my cousins are going to therapy, most of my first cousins, because we deal with a really serious narcissistic ass family. And I was just surprised that a lot of my cousins are in therapy because of the shit that they went through. And I should have been in therapy long time ago. So I'm going to end my story here, and hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.